Dear students, welcome to the course of VLSI Circuits and Systems. Today's topic, fabrication process of BiCMOS transistor. So this has got most of the similar steps which we have learned in our previous topics through NMOS fabrication process steps and CMOS fabrication process steps. So taking that into consideration, few of the steps have been skipped and only a brief overview of BiCMOS fabrication process has been taken into consideration here. After completion of this topic, you will be able to illustrate the steps involved in fabrication of BiCMOS transistor, and you will be able to differentiate between CMOS and BiCMOS technologies, CMOS which we have learned in our previous topic. Starting with the steps involved, the brief steps involved in fabrication process of BiCMOS transistor. First, a p-type substrate is deposited with an oxide layer, which is very well known to us. Then followed by a window is opened through the oxide layer. This can be done with the help of photolithography, which we have done in our previous topics. Through the window, the n-type impurities are heavily doped, which we call it as N plus buried layer, which is termed as N plus buried layer. Then followed by P epitaxy layer is grown on the entire surface. P substrate is formed, a window is opened, then an N plus buried layer is formed, and above that a P epitaxy surface has been grown. Then followed by the entire surface is now covered with oxide layer, and then again two windows are opened through the oxide layer. This is also done with the help of photolithography, which is well known to us. P substrate is taken, then a window is opened, and N plus buried layer is formed, and total surface grown with the P epitaxy, and then an oxide layer is deposited, and it has been patterned through photolithography to open two windows. So, what is the purpose of these two windows? We will learn. Then followed by through these two windows which have been formed in the previous steps, n-type impurities are diffused. One is forming an n well for the purpose of making a p device, a PMOS transistor, and one window is doped with n-type impurities. Again, that is an n well which forms the collector of a BJT. Then followed by three windows are opened now throughout using an oxide layer with the help of photolithography to form the three active devices. In the P epitaxy, we will form the NMOS device. In an N well, we will form the PMOS device. And in the N well collector, we will form the NPN BJT. Then followed by the entire surface is now covered with a thin oxide, that is thin ox, and polysilicon, and they are patterned. Patterned means again photolithography process is used for the purpose of forming the gate terminals for both NMOS and PMOS devices. Then followed by through the third window. So in the third window, we will dope with the p-type impurities where N well acts as the collector terminal. Into it, we will dope p-type impurities to form the base terminal of the BJT. Then followed by the N-type impurities are heavily doped to form here the following three regions. One is a source and drain region in NMOS transistor, that is in the p epitaxy, and emitter terminal of the BJT in the buried layer, and into N-well collector which is already formed, but this is for the purpose of contact purpose to the external world. Then followed by p-type impurities are now heavily doped to form the following regions. First one is source and drain regions of PMOS device, that is into the N-well, and into the P base already formed for the purpose of contact. The entire surface is covered with thick oxide layer now. So this is for the sake of patterning to open the contacts of only source and drain and gate contacts of both P-type PMOS and NMOS and BJT, emitter base and collector of BJT. Then that is patterned to form only the contact cuts where we require the contacts. Then we do the metallization process where metal contacts are formed in order to connect to the external world with source, gate and drain of NMOS device or PMOS device and emitter base collector of a BJT. So here you can see the three devices in the P substrate that has been taken, and with an N plus buried layer we have done the BJT region, and in the P epitaxy we have opened an envelope and we have done both NMOS and PMOS devices, hence forming a BiCMOS transistor. So through this topic, you should be able to solve a few of the lecture level problems or questions along with the additional LLPs given here. That's all for this topic. Thank you. Happy learning.